Hello and welcome to the Sabine Solution. School holidays can be a stressful time for parents. In this video we're going to be looking at how school holidays can impact parents and what can be done so that parents come back feeling more relaxed and less exhausted by the time the first day of term comes around. We will be looking at the following in more detail. We're going to be looking at if you don't have a support system such as family or friends who are able to look after your children. We're also going to be looking at if you're feeling exhausted but you still have to look after the children, look after the home, go to work. Another point is rising costs and how that affects and actually makes it a challenge to entertain children throughout the school holidays. Also going to be looking at lack of routines because they can make you feel out of control when you don't actually have the routine of school. And then the last point we're going to be looking at is preparing to go back to school. So the first point is that you don't have a support system to look after your children during the school holidays. This can be a real challenge for parents, even more so if you're a single parent. You may not have any close relatives, or they may live too far away, or maybe you've moved to a new area and you've not had the opportunity to make any new friends. Having some sort of support allows you to go to work, have a break, and either rest or catch up with all the things that you need to get done. So, how to cope with no child sitters at hand? There is no instant, easy solution to this, but with the internet, you can access your child's school or Facebook page or another platform, and you can get together with other parents and create your own cooperative. Getting together first will allow your children to make friends and also allow you to meet the parents and see if you're comfortable taking it in turns to mind each other's children on a rota basis. This in turn gives you structure, which is important if you're juggling children as well as work. Other places where you could meet parents and create a cooperative could be summer camps, clubs, places of worship or reading time in the library. There are also some apps where you could meet other parents such as Dad Up, Mush App, Mummy Social and Peanut Up. All of these apps can help you to connect with other parents and to be able to have a connection or maybe even set up a childcare between yourselves. An important note on this topic. You probably wouldn't leave your credit card with a stranger. So with that in mind, it is worth getting to know the person that you might be sharing childcare with. Where do they live? What do they do for a living? Have you met them face to face? Have you met their partner? All these things will help you to decide whether or not you feel comfortable leaving your child with them on a regular basis. So the second point we're going to be looking at is exhaustion. That you're exhausted but you still have to look after the house, the children and go to work. If you're feeling exhausted and overwhelmed, it's time to get hold of your situation. You may feel too exhausted and overwhelmed to even think of doing anything, but even small changes can make a huge difference. Let's have a look at the home to start with. Are you running yourself ragged to try and keep your home looking the way that it does when the children are at school? This uses up a huge amount of energy. Try to let go of some of these chores during the holiday period. Is anything going to happen if you don't dust this week? Try to focus on the important things that need to be done, such as clothes washing, food, putting some things away at the end of the day, and obviously basic hygiene. Dusting, hoovering and plumping up the cushions are just going to use your energy and you're going to end up exhausted, tired and irritable as a result. So I'm not suggesting that you don't hoover at all, or I'm not suggesting that you don't do some of the things that you would normally do, but see if you can reduce some of those unnecessary energy drainers. Now let's get organised. Now bear with me on this one, because I'm going to ask you if you can get up 10 minutes earlier so that you can have a few minutes of uninterrupted you time with a cup of tea or a cup of coffee. You may want to go to sleep for the extra 10 minutes, but that extra 10 minutes sleep will not be anywhere near as beneficial as actually having some quiet you time before the day starts. Starting your day like this can give you a sense of peace and a sense of control too. When clients have an hour to themselves while someone is looking after their child, I invite them to leave the house if possible. Drive around the corner if you need to, or if you don't have much time, and even sitting in your car or a coffee shop away from the demands of life can go a long way to recharging your batteries. Take a book, close your eyes, or write a positive list. Maybe write where you'd like to be in 5 years' time. Mentally take yourself away from life stresses. When you're looking after the children, try not to overfill their diaries. Children need some downtime. Use that downtime for yourself as well. You might want to buy them a box of multicolored chalks and let them play with that and draw on cardboard boxes, paving slabs, a plank of wood. And make sure it's obviously washable first. But use that time to relax yourself, to sit down, have a cup of tea, have a cup of coffee. You need that time. It's important for you to recharge, because when you're exhausted during the holidays, it's about minimizing the workload and maximizing the relaxation time that you have. Now we're going to be looking at finances and how your finances affect your school holidays. Rising costs can make it a real challenge to keep children entertained. I gave an example just a moment ago of entertaining a child on a fairly cheap basis, but there are lots of other ways that you can entertain children, either free or at a low cost. The biggest source of information is the internet, and you'll be able to find general as well as local events close to you. But here are some ideas to get you started. Go to your local library. Even if your child does not like reading, a lot of local libraries have tables where children can draw. And looking at the pictures in all the various books can sometimes keep them entertained for quite a while. So another idea is movie nights with a difference. You can create with your child some movie tickets, or you can print them off if you want, and you can make it a colour-coded night where everybody has to wear a particular colour, or everybody has to wear their favourite colour or their favourite outfit. You can also maybe draw or print some fake money to buy the popcorn. So those are just some of the ideas to turn a DVD into something a little bit more special. Another low-cost option is, instead of eating your dinner at home, is to pack up your food and go and eat it in the garden even. Garden or local park if you don't have a garden, or anywhere, even the car. If you could park your car, as long as it's got a view or something to entertain the children, and you can sit in your car if it's a rainy day. But it's just, for a lot of children, it's somewhere unusual or unexpected that keeps the children entertained. I used to set up 4 chairs, and I used to just put a bed sheet over it and create like a tent, and then the children would have a picnic underneath, and they would have it with their favourite toys. And it cost nothing, but it just felt like their own private space. So you can do that on a rainy day, it's completely free, and it's just a different space for them to use. So another idea is movie nights with a difference. You can create with your child some movie tickets, or you can print them off if you want, and you can make it a colour-coded night where everybody has to wear a particular colour, or everybody has to wear their favourite colour or their favourite outfit. You can also maybe draw or print some fake money to buy the popcorn. So those are just some of the ideas to turn a DVD into something a little bit more special. If you have a tent, then maybe camp out in your garden. If going away is too expensive at the moment, then doing that can make all the difference for a child, because it's somewhere different. If you haven't got a tent, maybe a friend can lend you one just for the night. So that might be something that keeps the children entertained for a little while. Charity shops are really good, a really good resource for entertainment. A child can choose something at a fraction of the price of buying it new. You could buy clothes to put in a dressing up box. Best of all, it's environmentally friendly in that you're recycling rather than buying new items. Now we're going to be looking at routines. Lack of routine can make you feel overwhelmed. There's a routine when children go to school, you tend to know what time you need to get up, what time they're going to be home, how much time you've got to do various things. And routines can help you feel less overwhelmed. You roughly know what to expect and can plan your days accordingly when you have a routine, and lack of routines can feel as though you're out of control, and sometimes you can feel literally paralyzed and overwhelmed by that lack of control. Even if you're halfway through the holiday, it still helps to put some structure in at this stage. Rather than leave everything open, just put a few basic ideas down on some set days, and you may want to ask your child to help you when planning this holiday routine. If a child knows that on Wednesday morning, for example, they're going to the library, they are mentally prepared and focused on that. When it's left open, the possibilities become endless, and so therefore your child can be undecided, irritable. So incorporate some free slots in there as well, and you could label those, if you wanted to, as outdoor time or quiet time, and quiet time may be television, phone or games. And so therefore your child knows, and especially at the timing of it, you may want to sort of slot those in perhaps later on in the day, so your child is starting to wind down. Children thrive on healthy boundaries and structure, as it makes them feel safe and they know what to expect. So set a few things out initially and then just build on that. So the last point we're going to be looking at is going back to school. School clothes, shoes, books, bus timetables, school forms to fill in, lunch boxes, etc. The list goes on. So the following points may not be applicable to all of you depending on your child's age. The first point is, the more organised you are, the calmer you will be. The calmer you will be, the calmer your child will be. If your child sees you panicking and screaming and stressing, it'll influence how they see the situation. Use the holiday period to encourage independence where appropriate and help them to be better prepared for school life. Taking a new bus route with them, for example, or telling them who to contact in an emergency. The holiday period can be the perfect time to sort out any physical or mental worries that your child may have. And that's easier because you don't have the added stress of going to school. Your weeks are free usually, unless you're working, obviously that's harder. But see if you can make that doctor's appointment that you've been meaning to make, or that therapist, so that your child starts school on a good footing. If your child is going to a new school, is there a school club that the school advertises that they can join so that they can meet some of their classmates beforehand? Start to gradually bring your bedtime, the usual bedtime, into play a couple of weeks before the start of term. The reason for this is that you're going to be dealing otherwise with an irritated and tired child on the first day of school. So if you do it gradually, so I don't know, if their bedtime's at 8 or 9, so let's say 8 o'clock, if you can just 10 minutes each day, that will actually help you then to bring it forward 10 minutes each day, and your child will not be sort of up at 10 or 11 o'clock at night and be absolutely exhausted on the first day of school. Something that might help you to stay calm on the first day of school is actually pretending in your mind that the first day of school is the day before and getting everything ready as if they were going to school. And then that way there's usually something missing or something's been misplaced or forgotten about, and you can sort it out then rather than at 10 to 9 the day after. If managed in the right way, school holidays can be a time where you reconnect and you spend quality time with each other. Planning can go a long way to ensure that holidays are filled with happy memories and not something that you end up dreading at Easter, summer or Christmas. If you would like to see more videos on various issues, parenting, mental health, relationship issues, then press the subscribe button below. I will be issuing new videos, and if you have any ideas or comments that you'd like to share with anybody else, then please leave them in the comments box below, and I'd love to hear from you. And thanks very much for watching.